Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. O Lord, please lead us from unreality to the reality, from ignorance to the knowledge, and mortality to the immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, today is a blessed day. It is a twice blessed day because today is the birthday of two great acharyas who have created a lot of impact, especially in India and even in the world scenario. The two great personalities' birthdays, one is of Adi Shankaracharya, who gave the systematic philosophy of the non-dualistic philosophy or Vedanta, that is Advaita Vedanta. And also today is the birthday of one more great personality, that is Ramanujacharya, who gave the Vishishtadvaita, that is qualified monoism, the philosophy of qualified monoism. So paying our salutations, our respects to both of these two great personalities, let us try to understand few ideas which is discussed in Aparokshanubuhti, that is the immediate realization of the self. All of us, we want to be happy, not pleasurable, not pleasures. It is happy at all circumstances, at all situations. We would like to be happy. Yes, but however we try, how much ever we try in the life, it is not possible. Sometimes it becomes, oh, it is mere hypothetical thinking or hypothetical argument. It cannot be. The scripture says it can be. How is it that? The moment you understand who are you in reality, then you'll be able to live happily, because that is your real nature. My real nature itself is happiness. Knowingly or unknowingly, I am trying to find that happiness either in the world or in the worldly objects or in the people or in the things or in the achievements. So the scriptures will tell us to find us, or it gives the roadmap, guide, route map to find out the real happiness or the eternal happiness. The eternal happiness achieving, it also includes, I'll be free from sorrow. And then if it is my real nature is happiness, what is making me to stop of experiencing that? According to the Advaita Vedanta, the non-dualistic philosophy, they say it is ignorance. Ignorance of what? Ignorance of oneself. Come on, Swami, how can you say that? I'm such a person where I know my biodata. I've got a CV I can put to you. Or probably in the whole world, except everyone, I know better about myself. How can you say that I'm ignorant about myself? Whatever we say, we are all knowing about oneself, that is our pseudo-personality, or the traits of body and mind complex. So that is not our real personality. It is only a mask, we can say. Then what is my real personality? Or who am I in reality? If you ask, I am that Atman or the Brahman or the consciousness. The moment I understand the reality, then I'll be happy at all times. This we can see in the life of Swami Vivekananda. This we can see in the life of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, and also in all the great personalities, like even in Adi Shankaracharya or Ramanujacharya. They were all happiest people at all times. They had to face criticisms. They had to face a lot of adverse circumstances, problems, challenges. But in spite of that, they were all happy. Why? Because they knew in reality who are they. This is what same thing had seen in the 10th sloka, that one who is possession of fourfold qualifications are prerequisites, that is sadhana chatushtaya sampanna, he should constantly reflect with a view to attain knowledge, desiring his own good. And why should we possess these four qualities? Because to attain the eligibility to practice Advaita Vedanta, to study Advaita Vedanta, to know the Advaita Vedanta. What is that? Who am I in reality? So the moment I understand, for an example, I finished my graduation, I passed my graduation, but I may read the syllabus or knowledge whichever I had acquired in the degree, in my degrees. I may read or I may not read. But here the author is saying, once you acquire that fourfold qualifications, afterwards you cannot say that once I have acquired, I cannot leave. No. You have to hold on and you have to maintain that fourfold qualifications, and you have to proceed, or you have to go further in your spiritual journey. So if I say that I have to proceed, I have to go further, I have to move further in the spiritual journey, then what should I do? Like for example, I came from India to Dublin, fine. From Dublin airport, I landed, but there my journey doesn't end. I have to keep going forward till reaching Air Vedanta Society. So similarly, attaining fourfold qualification, the sadhana chatushtaya sampanna, it is only creates eligibility. And this eligibility is very, very important for all of us. Why? Many of us, we have got desires, we have got goals, but in many of our life, we are not able to reach our goals. We are not able to fulfill our desires. We will not be able to reach our targets. Why? Because of lack of eligibility, lack of preparation. So this point of eligibility or the point of preparation is very, very important. Many of us, most of us, unfortunately, we don't think about it. We should be conscious about, and we have to prepare ourselves. For example, to become a doctor or to take the profession of doctor, MBBS or whatever, you need a particular eligibility. To become an engineer, you need a eligibility. Or to have an entry to the Trinity College for the master's or PhD, I need some eligibility. So similarly, to study and to take the spiritual life, we also need some eligibility. The preparations, initial preparations are very, very important. But unfortunately, we don't give much importance to it. We only think about self-realization. We speak of God realization. How to attain, we speak. We think about it, we try. But unfortunately, many of us, we don't give enough importance to this preparation. That's why, how much ever we try ourselves, we are not able to reach to the ultimate goal. That is what God realization or self-realization. It is just like Sri Ramakrishna tells in the gospel. The drunkards, the group of drunkards, they came and they sat in the boat. And the night it was, and everyone were drunk. I mean, they were in the drunken state. They were not aware about normally how we are aware. And the boat was tied to the particular place for the pillar, and they didn't see. They sat in the boat, and the whole night they were rowing. They were rowing, and on the morning, by that time, all their whatever the drinking, the nesha we say in Hindi or in Kannada, that has come down, and they see wherever they had started, that they were there same place. The whole night they were doing rowing, but they didn't move even inch. Because why? Their boat was tied to the pillar and they didn't remove the rope. They didn't lose the rope. So similar case most of the time in our life, with our spirituality. We keep on struggling, no doubt. We might proceed to little, but to larger extent, we might feel that we have not progressed. Why? Because just like the boat was tied to the pillar, we have been bound by many desires because of lack of preparation also. So there's a need of preparation, and that is being told very clearly in the form of sadhana chatushtaya sampanna, that is fourfold qualifications. So the moment you are enabled with these fourfold qualifications, you'll be eligible to take the study of Advaita Vedanta. or we can say we are eligible to take the spiritual path also in short form. Now, after attaining these fourfold qualifications, eligibility, then what next? Here the author is, according to the Advaita Vedanta, the non-dualistic philosophy, through knowledge alone, one can attain self-realization. Why? According to them, the ignorance is the root cause for our bondage. So the ignorance can be removed only by knowledge, isn't it? Just like I have got a darkness in my room because I've closed all the doors and windows. So there is no light here. Since there is no light, there's a darkness in the room. If I sit and cry, oh, I need light, I need light, I need light, it will not happen. It will not happen. Okay, I clean the whole room and I paint, but still there is no light. Either you have to light the candle, or you have to put on the light, or you have to open the doors and windows so that the sunlight will come and the room is illumined with the light. So just like the light can only remove the darkness, so similarly, according to the Advaita Vedanta, the traditional Advaita Vedanta, that knowledge alone can remove the ignorance. Then the moment when I say the knowledge alone can remove the ignorance, oh, Swami, then I am very good at thermodynamics. I'm very good at quantum physics. I'm very good at atomic theory. I'm a great scientist in that. I'm a knowledgeable man. So the knowledge about atom or atomic theory can bring the self-realization for me? No. The knowledge about atomic theory can remove the ignorance about the atomic theory only. The knowledge about thermodynamics can remove only the ignorance with respect to subject. It's a particular subject. So the knowledge of the self-knowledge alone can remove the ignorance. Why? Because I've got ignorance about myself. Who am I in reality? So I may be very knowledgeable man in the thermodynamics or in the quantum physics or in the atomic theory or whatnot. But I may be an ignorant man in the spiritual life or with respect to self-knowledge. So when I say the knowledge, the self-knowledge, the knowledge about the self. So in the 11th shloka, in the Aparokshanubuhti, the author is telling that the through knowledge alone, one can attain self-realization. Be clear. Notpadyate vinagnanam vicharena anya sadhanaihi yatha padarthabanam hi prakashena vina kvachit. Notpadyate na utpadyate vinagnanam means without knowledge produced, na utpadyate, not produced, vina, without, gnanam, gnana, means without knowledge, vicharena anya sadhanahi. And that vichara is produced from what? Out of knowledge. From that alone, you can get realization. So moksha or mukti should be added here. So vinagnanam na utpadyate moksha mukti vicharena. Anya sadhanaihi na. Means from other means, like by bhakti yoga, by karma yoga, by raja yoga, by kriya yoga, by hatha yoga, by any other yoga, by any other means, you cannot attain moksha, you cannot attain mukti. Through vichara, through self-knowledge alone, self-enquiry alone, you can attain liberation, self-realization. How to understand? How do you substantiate your argument? Yatha, just as padartha bhanam, the knowledge of the objects, he surely, verily, prakashena vina kvachit, without light anywhere. If there is a darkness everywhere, if there is a midnight, there are so many objects kept in the room, but I don't get any knowledge about it because there is a darkness. The moment when I put on the light, then I am able to understand what are the objects are there in the room. So the light is the reason or cause to understand, to have the knowledge about the objects. Just as like that. So similarly, through knowledge alone, through the knowledge born out of self-enquiry. Gnanam utpadyate vicharena. The knowledge which is born out of self-enquiry, through that alone, one can attain self-realization. then immediately, so I have used the one word very carefully, that according to traditional Advaita Vedanta. So thus we have to keep it in mind. Oh, Sri Ramakrishna has told something, Swami Vivekananda has told something, XYZ has told something, then how is it? No. Here it is Adi Shankaracharya's point of view and traditional Advaita point of view. So from that point of view, since we are studying, from that point of view, this has been told, we have to understand. And what do they mean that through knowledge alone, one can attain liberation? Then do they mean that they don't need karma yoga, the path of selfless action, or psychic control, that is Raja Yoga, or now we can understand contextually as a Dhyana Yoga, meditation, or Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion or love? They say they're all complementary to Jnana Yoga. Karma Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Kriya Yoga, they don't speak. Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, they speak generally. These two are subsidiary to Jnana Yoga. From the path of selfless action, Karma Yoga, we get purification of the mind. Cleansing of the mind is achieved. And by Upasana or Bhakti Yoga, by meditation and worship and bhajans, we get Chitta Ekagrata. We get concentration of the mind. One is purification of the mind. The other is concentration of the mind. Steadiness of the mind is achieved. When these two things are attained, then through Jnana Yoga, that is from the path of knowledge, we get self-realization. Why? Because for moksha or mukti, what is the bane? What is the hindrance? Ignorance. The ignorance can only be removed by knowledge. Just like the darkness only can be removed by light. So similarly, the ignorance can only be removed by knowledge. So that's why they say from Jnana Yoga or from Jnana alone, we get moksha or mukti. And whereas if you take from Ramanuja point of view, from the qualified Manoism, they say, no, it is from Bhakti Yoga alone. So which is the main yoga at the realization? For realization, which is the main yoga which helps directly is important for them. That's how they differ. All the yogas are, we need all yogas, they also accept. Both, every yoga is complementary to each other, they also accept. But by which alone we get moksha or mukti, and others are subsidiary, which are subsidiary and which is important. There only the acharyas, the great philosophers, they differ. So this we have to keep very clearly, very with clear understanding. Now, the author has told very clearly, through Jnana alone, which is born out of vichara, we get moksha or we get mukti. So what is that vichara and what do you mean by knowledge born out of vichara has been told in the next sloka or in the 12th sloka. Koham katamidam jatam kovai kartasya vidyate upadanam kimastiha vichara soyamidrusha. Koham, if you break it, kaha aham, who am I? Koham, who am I? Katamidam, how this means here world, this mundane world or empirical world where we are living. How this world, jatam, created. How this world got created. How it also includes when, why, who, all these things are included in this. How this world got created, when this world got created, how this world got created, why this world got created, because the world is created all these problems. If there was no world, then there is no problem. So katamidam jatam, how this world got created. Then ko vai kartasya vidyate, ko, who is the kaha? When you break it becomes kaha, otherwise when it is continuously ko vai. Who is the expletive? Karta, the creator, asya, of this world, vidyate, exists. Who is the creator of this world? If there is an effect, if there is a product, there should be a manufacturer also. Someone has done that. Someone has created this product, isn't it? So who is the creator of this universe? Upadanam, material. What? Kim asti iha. In this creation, in this world, what is the material cause? So from which matter, from which particle, from what matter, the God has created the world. Or who has created this world? Vicharaha soyam idusha. So this is what we mean inquiry. So in the previous loka, the author had said, the knowledge born out of inquiry alone can give the self-realization. So what is the nature of that self-inquiry? So here the author is telling, so who am I? And what is this world? Who has created? And who is he? From what substance, from what matter the world has been created? All these things, inquiry, the inquiry into all these questions is what vichara. Now here we have to understand very clearly, the moment when we say self-inquiry, oh, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? So this question itself is self-inquiry, we say. Yes, it is true, but it is partial. When we say self-inquiry, it is not just who am I? It is who am I? Who is the God, the creator? And what is this world? Or what is this world? And what is the relationship between these three? All these things include self-inquiry. And every philosophy tries to answer these three questions. One is, what is the nature of God? Either you say God or Ishvara or the creator of the universe or whatever you say, the supreme self, or you say someone say Jesus, someone say Allah, someone say Rama, someone say Krishna, or whatever you say, supreme self. So who is this supreme self? What is the nature of this supreme self? So philosophy has to answer. Philosophy tries to answer. The second is, who am I? What is my nature? Before birth, was I existing? If I was existing, in what form I was? After death, do I exist? If I exist, in what form I exist? And where do I exist? The philosophy has to answer this. The third is, in this empirical world, the world which we are experiencing, I'm living where? What is this? Who created this world? And when this world was created? And how was this world was created? And why it was created? And how it was created? All these things has to be answered. So this is three angles of triangle, I mean to say. Just to keep in a memory, I'll take three angles of triangle. God, self, and world. The philosophy has to answer all these three questions. God, our supreme self, individual self, and the world. The three nature and the interrelationship has to be answered by philosophy, and philosophy tries. The moment when we understand this basic understanding about the philosophy, whichever philosophy you read, then you'll be able to understand what they are going to tell. Most of the classical philosophies, they try to answer all these three questions. And in some time, some philosophies, for an example, science is trying to tell me mostly about the world and about the soul only. Little bit soul, but not about God. They're not bothered about God. Though nowadays are some scientists they speak about, but generally the empirical scientists, they are bothered about the world only, not the other two aspects. They say that the other two is left for religion or it is left for classical philosophy. It is not our field. Sometimes the empirical scientists, they say. So this is what the philosophy has to, and the vichara means here, all these three are included. So now onwards, at least we should be clear that self-inquiry means it is not only who am I, what is God, and what is this world. All these three includes or considers self-inquiry. We should be clear about it. And why should we make inquiry? Because to understand the reality in complete, in toto. I will not be confused. I will not be baffled. Or my knowledge will not be limited. So to have a complete knowledge, I have to do self-inquiry. I have to do inquiry into these three things. And also why means, because generally we get this type of questions. When I say, the world is a mithya. Mithya means, however you are perceiving, however you are having a knowledge or whatever you are having a feeling about the world, in reality, it doesn't exist in that form. So you have been deluded. Just like your deluded, and you are seeing the snake in the rope. So similarly, you are seeing the world. Instead of you are seeing the Brahman or the consciousness, you are seeing it as a world. You have been deluded. Okay, Swami, it might be, but then if it is so, then you tell me, then what is this world? Are it never existed upon that farm. Then why do you? That's okay, Swami, but still you tell me, please. Because we have got that inquisitiveness generally. So that's why the philosophy says, yes, we do understand your inquisitiveness, then let me explain. So when they give the theory of creation and all other things, based on that, they try to bring so many scientific things, some of the philosophers. But actually, the Vedanta is not for that. The Vedanta is only trying to explain all these things to fulfill your inquisitiveness so that we can take you towards the self. So that is our intention. That has to be very clear. Just like small children, they build a house in the mud, and while they're going, the children themselves, they break it and they go away. So all this theory, now what is self and what is this creation, who is the creator, how it was created, when it is created, when it was created, what all the material it is used, all these things are used to quench one's own thirst and to lead the sadhaka or the spiritual seeker to forward. That is only the intention of the author, or that's the only intention of the Vedanta philosophy. They're not really interested about all these things. Why? Because the people, they are the men of realization, they know the reality. But since we don't know, from wherever we are there, they are trying to take us. This is the beauty of Advaita Vedanta, and this is the beauty of Indian philosophy. Every Indian philosopher say that the truth is very highest, no doubt. It is at a very high level, but after explaining, we should not stop there. We should go down to the seeker's level. From there, we should lift them to the highest truth. That's why different philosophies, different ways of truth, different explaining of truths, everything is maintained in the Sanatana Dharma or in the Vedic religion. Why? Because we differ according to our nature, according to our tendencies. We are at different places. We're in different levels of journey, spiritual journey. So every philosophy, every way of philosophy, way of explaining the truth, it may be helpful for the seeker. That's why they keep. Whereas in the Semitic religions, when they have reached the pinnacle according to their understanding, then whatever the other philosophies, other low truths, they destroyed it. They removed it. They said it is no need because we have reached the highest. Yes, I have reached the highest. You might have reached the highest, but everyone might not have reached. So we have to keep it. So that's why the Indian philosophers kept every truth, every way of truth, explaining truths, etc., etc. So here they're trying to understand Karya Karana Vichara. This is also a very subtle point we have to understand. What is this Karya Karana Vichara? Means the relationship or the inquiry of the relationship between the cause and effect. If the world is the effect, who is the cause? So this is very, very important in the Advaita Vedanta. Panchadashi, there are 15 types of things they speak of, this Karya Karana Prakriya, that is cause and effect relationship. The world is a product. If the world is the effect, what is the cause of it? The God, some say, and atom, someone say, and Big Bang theory, that's what it is trying to explain, how the world got existed. So here we have to understand very clearly, by doing all these things, we should get disassociated, or we should get dispassion, or we should understand what it is, and we have to hold on to the truth. That is the intention of the author. So Vedanta Vichara or self-inquiry means inquiry into the three truths. What are they that we have told? Now, what is Vichara has been understood very clearly now, more or less according to me, I think for you. If anything is there, we shall see in the question answer session. Now, how this Vichara has to be done? What is Vichara? What is Vedanta Vichara? What is self-inquiry? Now we came to know. How it has to be done is the next question may come. So author, understanding our question, author is telling in the next sloka, in the 13th sloka, how this Vichara, how this self-inquiry has to be done. Naham bhutagano deho, naham chakshaganas etad vilakshana kaschid vichara soyami drushkaha. Naham bhutagano deha. I am not the combination of these 5 gross elements, means physical body. Whoever has attained my Tattvabodha class, whoever remembers Tattvabodha classes discussions, then you will be able to understand all these things. I am not the combination of the 5 gross elements, he is telling directly. He is assuming that, Atha is assuming us that, okay, what is this physical body, gross body? And the gross body is made up of 5 gross elements. So Bhuta Gana, Gana is group. Group of Bhuta means it is not the ghost. Bhuta means here elements. So it is the group of 5 elements. And 5 he has not told. So one who knows the theory of creation, Akanka Advaita Vedanta, I mean, again, one who has listened to my Tattvabodha class, you'll be able to link here. That is, I am not the combination of that 5 gross elements. And Deha. So this physical body, we know that it is made up of these 5 gross elements. So Naham, I am not that. So I am not physical body. The physical body is made up of 5 gross elements, and I am not that. So I am not that physical body, gross body, the author is telling in simple way. Na aham chaksha ganas tatha, as well as I am not that. What is that? I am not the aggregate of the senses. See here how beautifully, subtly, the author is telling that I am not the subtle body. I am not the physical body, gross body, and also I am not the subtle body also. Chaksha gana, gana, group, cha, and also aksha. Aksha means I, means I am not the group of sense organs. Means sense organs are part of subtle body, we know that. So author is indirectly, in a subtle form, is mentioning that I am not even the subtle body. I am neither the gross body nor the subtle body. So what is the subtle body? If you again remember Tattvabodha class, the subtle body is made up of 17 components. That is 5 sense organs of action, 5 sense organs of knowledge, 10, and 5 panchapranas, 5 different pranas, 2 Mano Buddhi, and traditional Advaita, 2 more components is added, Chitta and Ahankara, that is 19. So here, so he is telling, indirectly is mentioning that I am not the subtle body. Etad vilakshana. Why? Because I am different from this. Different from what? I am different from gross body, I am different from subtle body. Etad vilakshana kaschit vichara. This is what I mean to say, something vichara. So what is vichara and how to do vichara? I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am not the subtle body. Soyam idrusha. So self-inquiry is similar to like this. So what is self-inquiry? Inquiry of who am I, what is God, and what is this world? And when the first question is, who am I? When you ask me, who am I am not the gross body, I am not the subtle body. And it also includes, I am not the causal body also. Now the question comes. First you are saying that I am not the combination of these 5 gross elements, I am not this physical body. Okay, maybe, but you are saying that I am not the senses, I am not the mind. How do you say this? How do you substantiate this argument? Because this body is perishable. I am not the perishable. And this body was continuously, from my birth to death, it undergoes change. Whereas I'm changeless, I'm eternal. For an example, when I was child, the sense of I. When I was young, the sense of I. When I was middle-aged, the sense of I. And even at my old stage or ripened age, the sense of I is the same. The body has undergone modifications. The mind has undergone modifications. The memory might have gone modifications, but the sense of I has not undergone the modification. That itself is a one clue for us to understand that I am that eternal. And for an example, you are hearing my talk. And since I have enabled video also in the Zoom, you are able to see me. How you are able to see me? Through your eyes. Through your eyes, you are seeing an object. For example, Swami Shantivratananda's body. That means what? Your eye is different from the Shantivratananda's body. And you are seeing through the eye means you are different from the eye also, isn't it? For an example, one more example, like I am enjoying coffee. If I'm enjoying coffee, I cannot be the coffee. I'm different from the coffee. I'm enjoying morning meals with the oats or with the noodles or with the bread sandwich. That means I am different from bread sandwich. I cannot be the bread sandwich. So similarly, my sense organs, through sense organs and through mind and through this body, I am enjoying sandwich. That means what? Just like sandwich is different from me, even the sense organs, mind also is different from me. Because I am the experiencer and these are all experienced. So this experience and experience is very, very important. This is what we see in the Druk Drushya Viveka. When my tongue is enjoying the sandwich was experienced and the tongue was the experiencer. Through tongue sense organ, I am getting the taste and I'm getting the knowledge of the taste. Then I am the experiencer and the tongue is experienced. So this we have to understand very clearly. So generally, I am not this mundane world. I am not this empirical world when I say, or when anyone say, it is easy for us to understand. Yes, I cannot be the water. I cannot be the fire. I cannot be the ether. I cannot be the earth. Fine, yes. And this whole world is made up of 5 elements. Fine. Similarly, this physical body is also made up of these 5 gross elements. When I say, oh, is it so? So similarly, just like I am not the ether, I am not the fire, I am not the water, I am not the earth, I am not the air. So similarly, this body is made up of these 5 gross elements. So I am not the same. I am different from that. It is difficult to understand. Just like I am riding a bike means I am different from the bike. So bike is only a weapon or an instrument I'm using to go from one place to another. For traveling, I'm using that. So similarly, this body is also a weapon or instrument given by God forever to enjoy or to suffer, to experience one's own karma or one's own actions, results of action. So I have to differentiate myself from this body. And what is this body? Then who am I and what is this nature of the body? And what is this body then? You say that the author is saying that this body, the physical body or the gross body is made up of 5 gross elements. Again, ether, water, air, fire, and earth. So Panchabhutas we say. The 5 gross elements, the product of these 5 gross elements is this physical body, this gross body. So that is the nature of it. That is the composition of it. So I am the different from that. Because I am the experiencer and the whole world is experienced. So similarly, I am the experiencer and the body is also experienced. How? If someone pinches, I experience the pain there. Oh, today was cloudy day. When I had been to walk, there was a gust of wind. I felt a lot of cold, a lot of chillness. Why? This body experienced the chillness and I also experienced. Through body. So this body is experienced and I am the experiencer. So that means the body is the object and I am the subject. The experienced is always the object and the experiencer is always the subject. That we have to understand. Just like the world is an object of experience, the body is also an object of experience. So this we have to understand very clearly. This is a little subtle. It will take some time. Or whoever has heard Vedantic talks or Tattvabodha class or Druk Drushya Viveka class or any Vedantic classes, Vedantic scriptures, you'll be able to understand. Just like the world is experienced, this body is also experienced. So just how I am different from the world, I am different from the body, and so I am not the body. But we are attached. We have clinged so much to the body. Many times something happens to my body. I feel that it happens to me and I start crying. Whereas in all the great people's life, we understand that they're not perturbed. For example, in Ramana Maharshi's case itself, in Ramana Maharshi's case, at the fag end of his life, there was a bed sore and there are so many problems with respect to body. But he was not moved from that. He was not crying. He was not perturbed. He was not morose. He was happy in his own self. The body had problems, no doubt. But since he knew, he had a knowledge that I am not the body, he was not perturbed. He was not moved. Just even my Gurudev, Swami Ranganathan Maharaj, he was at the age of 98. And he had his own ailments at that age. He had been hospitalized. And his lectures on Bradhanik Upanishad was transcribed. And when Brahmachari was reading that, and he was listening, and whatever the corrections was required, he suggested once the work is done, even at that age, and sleeping on the bed, and where his condition was very serious. But he was not bothered. And the General Secretary Swamiji, now the present Swami Smarananji Maharaj, most revered Swami Smarananji Maharaj, now he's the president, then he was General Secretary. He went there. He asked, Maharaj, how is your health? How are you doing? He said with all smiling face, oh, I am okay. But the doctors and these people, they want to test me something. They want to monitor my health. So that's why parameters, that's why they have inserted some tubes and all. So nasal feeding is going on. So many other things are not in control. They're trying to control is all parameters. But he's telling, I am okay. But they want to do something, they're doing it. So it is just like as if it has happened to someone and he's telling it. And it is with his own body. And he's telling that I am okay. But the doctors want to do something. They want to check something. They want to maintain something. They're doing it. They have inserted IV fluid. They have inserted nasal feeding and so tube to the mouth or to the nose and so many other things. So he was not perturbed. He was not concerned. He was not morose. He was not, oh, now nasal feeding is going on. How can I listen to my lectures, my own lectures? And how can I suggest what to do? Let us see afterwards. Let me get out from all these things. Generally, we say that, but he was not. Why? He had that sense, he had that understanding, he had a conviction, probably of course, he had an experience that I am not the body. See, that is the beauty of this Vedantic experience. The moment when we understand that I am not the body, the moment when I don't cling on to this body, when I don't attach to this body, I get a lot of freedom. We all feel that, okay, if I get away from this attachment to the body, what will happen to me? The fear, the phobia, it comes to for many of us, but it is not so. If we are not attached to the body, then I can be happiest person. But unfortunately, we don't understand. Because the fear of death, abhinivesha, it is called in Sanskrit, scriptural term, abhinivesha. The fear of death is conquered the moment when I understand who am I. When the death comes, okay, you are welcome. You are my relative. You are welcome. That's why Swami said that I will meditate on the death. He was not bothered about the death. Why? Because he knew who is he in reality. The moment when we understand I am not this body, then this clinging to body will not perturb me. If I've got disease, if I've got any problem, emotional problems, if I've got any other disease or anything, I don't get moved. The body will have its problems. So your medication is done, whatever medical care will be given, but I will not be moved. I will not be perturbed. I will not be unhappy. That's why, at least if not for anything else, to live a happy life, we should study Advaita Vedanta according to him. It is a byproduct, of course. Advaita Vedanta is not meant for that. Then the second question is, the second point is telling that Naham Chakshagana, Chakshaganaha. Even I am not the aggregate of the senses. Means I am not even the subtle body. Means I am not the mind. I am not the sense organs. We have got five sense organs of action, 5 sense organs of knowledge. Probably author is only taking the sense organs of knowledge here. So I am not the body-mind complex. I am not the physical body as well as the subtle body. Then who am I? I am that Satchitananda, existence, consciousness, pure absolute. So what I am not has been explained in this sloka. Because we told we have to do vichara. So what is Vichara has been told? How to start this self-inquiry or Vedanta Vichara? You have to start with yourself to understand who am I. So I am not this physical body. I am not the gross body. Means I'm not the subtle body. That means I am not the body and mind complex. How can you say, Swami, that even I am not the mind? Because I can experience my mind. For an example, there's a wonderful procession is going on. I'm standing in front of Vedanta Society, and in the Mullarat, in the road, in the Dromith Garden Road, there was a beautiful procession. I'm standing in front of ashrama, and I'm seeing. So I'm different from procession. So similarly, I can also stay away from my mind, and I can also witness the emotions. I'm happy. Who is happy? The mind. I am unhappy. Who is unhappy? The mind. Isn't it? So the happy, unhappy, I am okay, I'm not okay, all these things is related to the mind, not with me, because I'm eternally happy, eternally blissful actually. So there are a lot of, emotional turbulence is going on. Yes, if you stay away yourself from that turbulence as a witness, then you'll be able to experience, you'll be able to understand that all this pertaining, it is belonging to mind, it pertains to mind. I am not that. That is what Sakshi Bhava, a witness. From this witness, you can understand even you are not the mind, you are the senses. Why? Because this subtle body and gross body all are in their jada. They're inert. The moment when I'm not there, the consciousness, the perceiver, the experiencer, whether these things exist or not, it doesn't make any sense. So that's why I am the experiencer, just like the physical body is the experienced, even the mind is also experienced. It can be understood. Only we have to sit and think little. You can see that emotions, we can see thoughts. Oh, there are so many thoughts gushing out. I'm getting disturbed. I'm getting worried. We say that, okay, get away yourself from that. Stay as a witness. There is good thought is coming, like a thought on Sri Ramakrishna. Okay, it is coming and it is going. Okay, there's a bad thought, it is coming and it is going. When you stay as a witness, you'll be able to perceive, you'll be able to understand that some thoughts, so many thoughts are coming and going, so many thoughts are passing in your mind. Then again, you will not be perturbed because it comes and it goes. It comes and it goes. The moment when you stick on to that thought, then it gets aggravated. Oh, how to come away? How to get rid of these thoughts? I'm not able to sleep. My peace is disturbed because there are so many thoughts are hunting me. How to come out? The one way is, the Vedantic way is, stay away yourself from all this, because practice that witness bhava. I am the self. As a witness, I am watching, just like I watch a movie, just like I watch cricket, just like I watch football match. So just I am watching all the thought currents which is going on in the mind, which is crossing in the mind. So this is a sort of vichara according to the author. So what I am not, the author has told in the forthcoming slokas, what I am, they also told. According to the scriptures, Indian scriptures, they have got a two style. The style is, initially they tell whatever they have to tell, Siddhanta, the philosophy, in a gist form, in a sutra form or in a gist form. First they will tell. Afterwards, they try to go on explain it. We can see very clearly this in the Bhagavad Gita. In the second chapter, the whole essence of Bhagavad Gita has told just in second chapter. If you understand second chapter properly, then you don't need any other chapters at all. In the second chapter, he has given the gist. Under the 18th chapter, again, he summarizes again. You might have mistaken, or you might have left, or you might have forgotten. Because I will go on telling, you might have forgetting one by one. So he summarizes in the 18th chapter. So 12th and 18th chapter. In 12th, in the introduction itself, he gives the gist, whatever I'm going to tell. In the 18th, whatever I have told, this is what I have told, he summarizes. In all other chapters, the 12th, the second chapter, whatever he told, he tries to explain in detail in all other 16 chapters. So now the author has told in the gist form what is vichara. In the 13th sloka, till the end of this Aparokshanubuhti, this vichara has been it's discussed in detail. The moment if you understand, I am not this body, I am not this mind, body-mind complex, and I am self, that is understood, that's itself. So now what I am not, they have told. In the next sloka, what I am, if it is told, then it is enough. Then, oh, that means Aparokshanubuhti ends. We may say, we may feel, yes, it is true, but how much ever we hear, because that the notion, the wrong notion is not gone from us. How much ever we listen, we feel that we are body and we are mind, we are body and mind. So it has to be again and again hammered and removed. So the author is trying to hammer into different ways from different angles so that this let the wrong notion go away. That bondage, let it go away. So in the whole Aparokshanubuhti, more or less, except one is prarabdha karma, and the karma point also told, and also when the moment I understand this knowledge, when the moment the knowledge I get Jivan Mukti, what is the state of Jivan Mukti is told. Apart from that, the whole this vichara has been discussed till mostly end portion of the Aparokshanubuhti. Okay, if you have got any questions, you are free to ask now.
Am I right in saying that it's sort of like Atma, Jagat, Ishvara? That's a triangle.
Yes.
And it's interlocking. So you have to understand it totally.
Yes.
You cannot just understand one aspect, because is that to do with causation, that the cause of the creation.
Theory of causation means what is the relationship between the cause and effect, and what is the cause and what is the effect. For an example here, if the world is considered as an effect, who is the cause of it? What is the cause of it? So theory of causation is, especially in the philosophical angle point of view, how this world has been created, from what it has been created, or who has created, how it has been created. That's what it tries to tell. The theory of creation, we can say.
Yeah, what I remember from that Vaboda, which I can't say I understand in my head, but from what I can remember, there was two aspects to. There was material causation, and then there was efficient causation. So efficient causation is like the idea, the knowledge that shapes the matter, that shapes the, so if if clay is the matter, then the idea, the shape of the pot, or the potter's knowledge of the pot is the efficient causation, because he has the form in his head.
It is not causation, it is a cause there. The material cause and efficient cause.
Yes.
So the efficient cause is the potter, and the material cause is the
creation. Yeah, that's the material cause.
Yeah.
But if you just have clay, you don't have a pot. You have to have, it has to be shaped.
The pot is the product. Who has created the pot? The potter has created the pot. So he's the efficient cause. Then from which he has created the pot? From the clay. So that is the material cause.
Yeah. So it's like, then if I understand that, maybe now I'm totally mistaken here, but if I understand that, you have to have consciousness there at the start, because you have to have the efficient cause there at the start. So here,
if the world is a product, the material cause is Panchabhutas, the 5 gross elements, understanding, and the efficient cause is the Ishvara, we say, actually. But the Akanta Advaita Vedanta is the first step, very gross step or a preliminary step. But Akanta Advaita Vedanta, the God or the Brahman himself is the material cause as well as the efficient cause.
Yes, yeah. So that means that consciousness and the material are there from the start. You know, so in other words, that if you have, that if your idea is that you're going to work back from matter alone, that's a misstep at the start, because you're not taking account of consciousness at the beginning, but you're sort of trying to work back to consciousness, having started off with matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of philosophies will be trying to start from matter alone in a way.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay then.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.